Welcome to Section 5, Lesson 2, Video 1. Here we're going to continue to work with equations in slope-point form. Now what we're going to be doing is changing from slope-point form to slope-intercept form. So we know that slope-point form looks like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So how do we change that into this? Y equals mx plus b, slope-intercept form. Well, we'll go through the process when we do example 1, because they want us to change each linear equation to slope-intercept form. So now to do this, we're going to follow two steps. First, we're going to use the distributive property to get rid of the brackets, because we know slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, does not have any brackets. So let's take our negative 2 in front of the brackets and multiply that by x to give us negative 2x, and then multiply that by negative 7 to give us plus 14. Now we need to solve for y, because slope-intercept form is always y equals. So let's take that plus 5 on the left side of the equation and bring it over so it becomes minus 5. So now simplifying the 14 and minus 5, we would get y equals negative 2x plus 9. So now we have it in the form y equals mx plus b. So let's do that again. Here we have y minus 1 equals 3 over 5 times x plus 15. So the first thing to do is the distributive property. So 3 over 5 times x is 3 over 5x. Now when we multiply 3 over 5 by 15, we only need to multiply the 3 by 15, not the 5 as well. So when we do that, we get 45 over 5. Now we can simplify that to be 9. Next, we need to solve for y. We need to have it in the form y equals. So let's take that minus 1 on the left over to the right. And when I do that, it becomes plus 1 then. And when I add the 9 and 1 together, we get our equation. Y equals 3 over 5x plus 10. Now for example 2, we have to identify the slope and y-intercept of the given equation by changing it to slope-intercept form. Now I don't need to change this into slope-intercept form to know that the slope is going to be negative 2 over 3. I can tell that by looking at the equation, but I do need to change it to determine the y-intercept. So let's go ahead and follow our steps. So starting with the distributive property step, I'll go ahead and multiply negative 2 over 3 by x, and then negative 2 over 3 by negative 12. When I do that, I get negative 2 over 3x plus 24 over 3. Now I can simplify that to give me 8. Next, I need to solve for y. So I can bring my minus 8 on the left over to the right, and then add that to the 8 that's already there, giving me y equals negative 2 over 3x plus 16. So now the slope is going to be negative 2 over 3, like I mentioned before, but I note that the y-intercept is 16. Now for this last example, we have to write the equation of the line that passes through the point negative 2, 5 and has a slope of a half in both slope-point form and slope-intercept form. So if I take that slope and point and plug it into the formula, we would get y minus 5 equals 1/2 times x plus 2. Now to change this into slope-intercept form, I'll do my distributive property. 1/2 times x is a half x, and a half times 2 is 1. Now I just need to bring that minus 5 over to the right and add it with the 1, giving me y equals 1/2 x plus 6. So now it is in slope-intercept form. So that's how you can change from slope point form to slope-intercept form. You can now move on to the next video in this lesson.